Hi everyone, welcome to Rick's 1/35 scale models. My name is Rick and I'm going to be doing a review today. So today's model is going to be the Meng 1/35 scale Gepard in either the A1 or A2 version. So let's take a look at the model and see what we have. So let's first of all look at the instructions. You're going to have a nice cover art, nice big manual, and then like Meng usually does, they'll have multiple languages of a basic description of the vehicle and the history. You go through that, and you get to your standard tools needed to build the model, and then you get into the actual build. And like most models do, you start on the lower chassis. You've got the bogie wheels, the under suspension, parts like that. One of the nice things about the Meng kit is you can have movable suspension. So if you're putting it on a diorama, you can make the different road wheels be higher or lower depending on how you want to build it. Go through the assembly process, adding the upper hull parts, the top of the lower hull, different detail pieces. They do have PE sheets and things like that, which dress it up nicely. Going through, you've got some gear. If you're making the A2 version, you have some boxes that you add on to it. And then you start into the track assembly. Now this track has quite a few parts. You're going to have your bottom that the road wheel sits on, the rubber pad part, and then you're going to have the pins that go in between with the locks and the guide in the center. Now this is one part, but the rubber part is actually two pieces, so you're going to have a total of 5 pieces you have to assemble per section. So it takes a little bit of time, actually 4 pieces to be honest. You'll have 5 if you have both sides, but when you add it up it's 4. Or if you like, which is a neat thing with this kit, you can put in the ice cleats here every so often, such as they did, depending on the diorama you may be doing if you're doing that. Going through all these parts here, they do tell you to put the side skirts on, which was something that the Bundeswehr, for example, did not install generally. They have some demonstration ones that have it, but most of the pictures you'll see don't have that. So that's something, depending on what you're doing, you may want to decide what you want to do there. Your tow cables on the back and those parts. Then you get into the upper hull. You start building your sighting system for the turret crew, your smoke launchers, your hatches, your forward attack radar. And then you have the hull or the turret part you're building here, all the little detail parts that go on there. They do have a open back, so you can have the you can see the inside of this area. It's kind of a nice idea. Going through, you have multiple barrels, so you have to decide which version you're building and then build the correct barrel and assembly process. And your radar dish, all those parts going through. And then that's that version. Now that's the A1. Now if you're doing the A2, you add some parts. They have a second set of instructions here because there's quite a few differences on the turret. Going through that process, a lot of it's similar, but you do have, like I said, different pieces and different components due to the advancements of the vehicle. And if you're doing that version, that would be the assembly. They have a nice spruce sheet layout here to kind of help define your spruce sheets. And then, as Meng usually does, they have a really nice colored pictures for your camo pattern. One of the things that I've learned is the Bundeswehr, all their vehicles have the exact same paint scheme for each class vehicle. So if you're building a German version or pretty much any of the NATO ones, if they do the tricolor pattern like this, they're all going to have the same camouflage pattern. And they go through that here. Different versions of the vehicle, different eras of it. You do different countries potentially. You can do all those. And then that's that. And then they have a color diagram here of your different paints. Here you're going to have your tracks. You'll have your bottom part of the track, the top part of the track, and then your the connection points here, and then your ice cleats. And to correct myself, there are actually, you've got 2 in the bottom, 2 in the top, 1 there, and then if you add that, so there are a total of 5 track pieces per section. Definitely will take quite a bit of time installing it, but they do have a little jig here, which is, you know, fairly helpful, but it is a very tedious process. Nice results, but it will take a little while. So one of the bags you're going to have these parts. You're going to have your lower hull top part, the bottom, You're going to have your locking little grommets for the road wheels, and use toolbox that goes on the back. And this is actually a flexible rubber here type plastic, so it's a little different using, but it does give you some options as far as it's got some flex and those types of parts. In one of the bags you're going to have the top part of the turret. Really nice detail. You've got good weld lines on the edges and the parts. You have your points for your periscopes. The sighting system is actually movable here. Your radar dish goes there, and then you've got your back here, which has the parts. Like I said, really nice detail. You can see the non-skid plating a little bit here. Really well done. Takes paint really nicely too. This spruce sheet's going to have parts of your turret. You've got your hatches, the equipment controls in the back here, guns, the different parts there, your radar dishes and hatches. Really good detail. You can see all the bolts and different access points. It's also real thin plastic, so it looks real accurate. A little fragile, but definitely turns out a nice result. So this spruce sheet, you're going to have actually two of these. This will be your road wheels, suspension system, and some of the supports for the lower hull, parts like that. What's nice about it is the road wheels have all the proper nuts and bolts on the inside and the outside, so you can see it on both ends, and they have the proper amount for the front return wheel compared to the main road wheels that support the vehicle itself. So here's more parts of the turret. You can see more parts of the guns, the covers, different panels, some other barrel options you have, along with some of the other parts of the radar, the smoke launchers, bags, pouches, and things like that that sit on the turret. Here's going to be some kind of a mixed part. You've got parts of the turret, the radar dish, parts of the lower hull, different little parts here that dress up really nice. Very delicate. You also have the manual sighting system they have here, which is a real nice feature, along with parts of the radar dish, these small little attachments that go on the dome and the receiver parts. This will be parts of the lower hull and some parts of the turret here, boxes, bumpers, fenders, some of the protective gear that goes on the base of the turret, along with some more boxes that go up on the turret itself. A bunch of the covers, hatches, and the parts of the barrel over here. Real good detail. The parts are thin, well done. What's neat here is this hatch goes over the drivers, and most of the other models out there, this will be just indented plastic, where these are actually completed holes, and you can see through them. Really nice quality there. Here's going to be your side skirts. Really nice detail. Unfortunately, a lot of times, like I had already said, you're not going to use them, but really good quality here. They've got all the right texturing that they really have, along with your engine back cover area here. The hatch that you have PE sheet you cover this with, it makes it look real sharp. Your follow me placarding, some of the boxes, and review mirror holders and things like that. This is going to be some of your other barrel options you have. You have the shorter, longer, depending on which version you're building. Then parts of your other hatches and other support mechanisms. Real delicate parts here, really sharp. You're going to have a PE sheet. The other neat thing they have with this kit is this part here is for painting the bogey wheel. You paint the bogey wheel black, and then you can cover the rubber part with this, and then you can paint the green on the inside. Neat option they gave, instead of having to buy some of the tools, but you can only do one at a time. That's still a neat feature. This bag you're going to have your decals, which have your different era decals you're going to use. The rearview mirrors have these little small paper pieces you put inside to give your rearview mirror some validity or valid, nice looking quality. And then you have your tow line here, which is a string. A little bit of a process to make that work, but it still turns out real nice. Last PE sheet's going to be your periscopes and your headlights, clear plastic. Really good quality, real nice looking castings. Definitely it makes the model look a lot nicer the way they do that. Okay, so let's look at the completed model. What you can see here is your okay, so let's take a look at the completed model. You can see the overall look of the quality of the parts, how it goes together, really nice and clean looking. You've got your bogey wells. These do so let's take a look at the completed model. Here's the overall completed look. I did this in a newer Bundeswehr version. I did not put the side skirts on. Went through, I have not detailed the model itself and weathered it, but I have weathered the tracks. You get an idea here of the overall quality of the kit. The detail goes together really nice, real clean looking. All the parts fit really nicely, no putting needed. Everything really does come together and make a real solid looking model. The road wheel suspension is movable, as I had said, so you have that aspect. The tracks, because of all the links, it definitely gives it a nice realistic look. You've got a lot of the protective skirting that other models don't have here, and with a little bit of modifications you can add chains here if you want and different other parts. Also lends itself nicely to a weathering effect, which I will be doing next on this kit. This is the A2 version, so you've got the extra boxes up here and back here, and then back here on the rear of the radar controls and electronics. Real good looking welds all over the model. The overall quality, all these parts are look right size for the scale. Real good quality, like I said. The PE sheets and different aspects make it look and turn out really nicely. The hatches up here are movable, along with the radar dish does swivel around and move up and down. The barrels do move up and down also, and the radar dish, you can put it in the up down and then it does spin. So that's the overall model. I think it's an outstanding kit, probably the best one on the market. The other kit you're going to see out there is the Tacum, which is another very, very high quality kit. It just doesn't have as many of the extra little things such as the movable axles. It doesn't have the manual sighting system up here. Some of the other parts look a little differently, but still a nice high quality kit. From there you're going to have the Tamiya's late 70s era Gepard, which is, it's definitely older and doesn't have nearly all the detail quality that these newer kits have. And then you're going to have the Heller kit, which it's just really lacking. But this is by far the nicest one, and the Tacum is right there with it. Nice quality kit. Highly recommended. Great build. Goes together nicely. Very sharp finished model, and lends itself nicely to dioramas or different other things you'd like to do. So, any questions or comments, please reach out to me. Leave comments in the comment area. You can also email me or reach me on my Facebook page. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the reminder bell. Very important. More videos coming soon. Everybody take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.